everyone, I'm McGregor from TRW Women, and I'm here today with Brianna MacDonald from the Care Co. How are you, Brianna?
I'm extremely well. Very excited to be here.
Excellent. Well, we're just going to glide straight into it. Please tell me about your business. What's the elevator pitch?
Oh, goodness. So the Care Co combines the best of pediatric research, and we work with young people between the ages of 5 and 12 from both initial needs backgrounds and trauma-informed backgrounds to learn mindfulness and emotional self-regulation skills.
Oh, so beautiful. How did you come up with that idea?
It was a long time in the making, for about 2 to 2.5 years before the Tech Ready Women program. It was something that sparked one day. I was actually working in an environment with young people from trauma-informed backgrounds, but they were a little bit older. They were between about the ages of 12 and 18. And they had what we now call a personalized learning plan, and it helped them identify on pen and paper what things might trigger them or they found really, really challenging or what have you. And then it also identified a couple of coping strategies they might have or their adults, guardians, or teachers might have. So it was things that would de-escalate them in the event where they were feeling quite overwhelmed. And then as that kind of progressed, I thought about maybe an easier way that could be done, something that was more digitized. And then I was also particularly interested in their younger cohorts, because often was the case by the time a young person reaches the high school age, some of those habits are a little bit more ingrained. They're a little bit more solidified. So I was interested in working with the younger people who may have even less access to kind of mental health and well-being support and services, but things that we could maybe instill at a younger age that they could then take with them.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced before starting with Tech Ready Women?
I think the idea was so simple. The app that I actually wanted to build, and this, like I said, much the same, came from pen and paper through to my own sketches. My own first mock-up was on Microsoft Word. Like, it was not fancy. And then building it through to what I was like, this is the solution based off of what we've pulled together, who we've spoken to, been like, would this work, etc. Also, I came from a background in business. So I had already actually started 2 businesses before. So I understood the entrepreneur thing. I understood what the product could be, but it was, I think, bringing those together.
So you've got the idea, you're accepted into Tech Ready Women. Tell me about the process that was undertaken then.
Oh my, so then the product kicked off, and I admit, like, I'm a bit of an academic and like really a business structure operations person at heart. So I love a bit of structure. I love a course outline. I love a program. I like an intensive where you really deep dive and, come out the other end 8 to 12 weeks later. So when I saw the course layout, I got let know that I was in, I saw the course layout, we joined the Slack channel. That was like a gorgeous sense of not only relief, but I guess camaraderie. Sometimes when you are working for yourself or you're an entrepreneur, you have fantastic clients, you have fantastic contacts or service providers or a team around you, whatever the case may be. However, it is a really unique position to be in, particularly if you are the founder of a business. So suddenly I was connecting on Slack even with all of these other women who came from backgrounds in business or their own industries and were starting business for the first time, or academics and people who, like me, this was, their 3rd, 4th attempt at a business, whatever the case might have been. And it was so wonderful. I just, regardless of their background or age or life stage, whatever the case was, I was suddenly just surrounded by women who do what I do. And I was like, oh, these are my people.
As a woman in tech entrepreneurship, what challenges have you faced?
Now, I say this with absolute humility. My first instinct is to say none, because I have often found myself, I think this is because I started working for myself maybe a really quite young age, that there was many times in my life where I was either this unbelievably younger than everybody else in the room. That was certainly in my earlier years. And there have been many times when I have been the only female in the room, whatever the case might be. And that just never even crossed my mind as a barrier.
So brag moment, do you have any wins that you'd like to share with us?
My God, you know what? It's one, first and foremost, actually, and I'm quite excited about this. I'm just joining another program. It starts tomorrow, actually. It's 12 weeks. It's not an accelerator, so it's quite a bit different from Tech Ready. but it's people who specifically are in pre-revenue, early stage tech space, which is exactly where the CareCo is, because we don't have our MVP finished yet. But what it is going to do is line me up with select people who mentor early stage tech startups for the next 12 weeks. And any programs like that, or initiatives or communities, whatever it is, the networking always just pays off time and time and time again. Not only do you meet peers and like comrades, but some people's level of expertise, or likewise, and I really enjoy doing this too, when you need a new service provider or a new supplier or whatever, and someone has a recommendation from firsthand experience, that is awesome, right? I am very, very proud that our advisory board is all female. I'm excited by that. I just think it's a point of differentiation. For me, it's always just about the level of someone's expertise and being a really good person, I guess, because I'm really interested in the kind of global priority work, if you will. Those are really important things, right? Mental health and wellness, early childhood education, medical aged care, whatever. Those are important things. So I just want to be surrounded by good people who are also really good at what they do. And ours just happens to be an all-female advisory board.
And so is there anything that our networks can help you with right now?
And I always want to make sure that our pitch deck is as clear and communicable, if you will, as possible. So what I've just so enjoyed the last couple of weeks and months even is presenting the pitch deck, whether somebody's interested in the company or not, but presenting the pitch deck to people who have nothing to do with young people's social work, with early childhood education, with pediatric psychology, etc., to make sure that we have distilled it down to the most simple need to know information that fills out the story and fills out what they need to know. That anyone who's kind of just willing to look at our pitch deck and offer feedback or whatever the case might be. And then likewise, people who are actually in the space, people who do have experience with those industries, who just take a quick look at the product and are like, oh, this will work or this might not.
Brianna, it's been wonderful talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with Tech Ready Women. And we look forward to hearing more about the CareCo again soon.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.